Am I the a-hole for not wanting to give my husband's ex-wife more money? I, 33 female, and my husband, 36 male, have been together for 3 years, recently married this past year, and we have a 1-year-old child together. My husband has 2 kids from a previous marriage, Zara, 16 female, and Sam, 18 male. My husband is a disabled veteran, and his child support is based on his government compensation, Social Security. Social Security determines the amount of child support his ex-wife receives per child, and her child support payments dropped in half when our son turned 18 and dropped out of high school. We had no issues with his ex-wife until we married, and now his ex-wife wants more money because my income is significantly more than my husband's. His ex-wife also wants compensation for their 18 male who lives at home with her. We told our son Sam that he could live with us as long as he promised to work on his GED, but he refused. I currently pay for Zara's cell phone and car insurance. So am I the a-hole for not offering more money for child support? Just want to add, ex-wife worked at CVS as a pharmacy tech for years. When I married my husband, she quit her job and started part-timing as a waitress. Ex-wife and the kids live with the grandparents, and we see the kids maybe once a month due to both kids having jobs. Ex-wife does not want to go to court because she is still paying on lawyers' fees from her second marriage and custody battle, so she wants us to come to an agreement to give her more money. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Take her to court. She gave up a better paying job to be a waitress and is trying to leech off you and your husband and expects you to pay for a legal adult kid who has made a bad choice of not continuing or even finishing his education? Woof. We recently found out that Zara is missing school, and the ex-wife texted my husband that she will have our daughter drop out of school before being taken to court by the school for failure to go to school/truancy. Our daughter drives to school, and her mom works evenings, so she is at home when our daughter is missing school. Seems like the husband needs to get CPS and law enforcement involved. Your income has nothing to do with his child support. Not the a-hole. Just need to be careful about the possibility of imputed income, depending on where you live. True, I live in Netherlands, and the income of the new partner may mean that you have to pay more alimony here, because from that moment on, you can share living costs with someone, which increases your financial capacity. Not the a-hole. She shouldn't have left her better paying job to wait tables. Her financial situation is not your problem. Furthermore, she knows what she is asking is too ridiculous to take to court and is hoping you'll take pity on her. It's what it looks like. I hope your husband is in agreement with you. Joint finances or not, it would be coming from money you earned. And the layabout son needs to do something to better his life as well. Yeah, we are getting mixed opinions from my husband's family if we should give more money or not. My husband agrees with me. Anytime our older kids need clothes or shoes, we pay for them. We give the kids gas money. We've also helped with their car repairs. So we don't understand her logic for us giving her more money a month just because. We told the ex-wife that both kids could live with us if the financial strain was too much, and she adamantly refused. I also want to add that his ex-wife has claimed both kids on her taxes since their divorce 10 years ago. So, if both kids lived with us, she wouldn't receive child support or tax credits. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to share my lottery winnings with my boyfriend's nephews? Children in our country sometimes sell stuff for their schools to fund school trips, etc. I think many countries do that, so I don't need to explain more. Usually, it's around big holidays, etc., and we have a Christmas lottery, something many schools sell. My boyfriend and I have been together for 13 years, and we are happily child-free. We have good incomes and comfortable living. My boyfriend's sister and her husband also have good incomes and comfortable living. But I feel sometimes that she always tries to hint that we make more than we spend because we don't have children. Excellent deduction. And that maybe we should give more presents and stuff to her 2 sons. I don't agree. I put around 30 to 60 euros on a present. And whether it's good or bad, I don't care. I come from money as my parents had good jobs, but we learned from young age that is never the value of the present. And I had the happiest upbringing. Anyway, the sons get a couple dozens or more lotteries each to sell, and the idea is to go around the neighborhood, etc. But they're too lazy, and they make the family buy everything. And since my boyfriend and I have nothing important to spend money on, we end up buying the majority of the tickets, around 200 to 300 euros worth each occasion. It angers me a bit in the beginning, but my boyfriend seemed uncomfortable saying no, and I hate making him uncomfortable, so I said, oh well. This Christmas, I won about 150,000 euros. I was so happy because I never win stuff. But when the nephews heard this, they wanted their ticket back. I was shocked and said hell no. They called me like 50 times, and my boyfriend's sister and her sons showed up next morning to talk, then argue, then fight me. Then she asked to at least split it 50-50 with them, but I wouldn't budge. All three left in tears saying they will take me to court, and my boyfriend wants me to split or I'm being an a-hole. I usually donate 20% of my bonuses, inheritance, or any big chunk of money I get to charity. I thought I would do that and buy the boys the bicycles they were saving for, which cost around 2,500 each. I don't know why, but now I won't even buy them the bicycles. Am I the a-hole? Edit. My boyfriend is the one who pays for the tickets. He then splits the tickets. The winning ticket was one of mine. Not the a-hole. It's your money to do whatever you want with. Screw your boyfriend's family for being leeches, and screw your boyfriend for not standing up for you. OP should take the money and pay for the boyfriend to get therapy to start learning healthy boundaries and how to say no to family. Not the a-hole. If anyone else, more specifically a stranger, had gotten that winning ticket and not you, they probably never would have asked them to split the money, because that would be rude. But since it's their uncle's girlfriend, then apparently all of that goes out the door. You bought the tickets. The transaction was finished, so they were 100% your tickets and not theirs. So I don't see why you should have to share. Not the a-hole. Which court they were planning to take you? The court of entitlement? Court of idiots? If you decide to donate some money to charity, do it in their names. Maybe buy bicycles to kids in shelter or something. Your boyfriend should learn some boundaries. If he's fine being a doormat, that's on him. But he shouldn't expect you to be. If he really thinks you are an a-hole, then maybe he isn't the one for you. And don't forget to report them to the organizers for trying to claim ownership of tickets they sold, not the a-hole OP. Not the a-hole. Seems like over 13 years you've spent thousands on these lottery tickets, plus gifts. You've been more than generous. They have no right to the winnings, any more than the clerk at a corner shop who sells a winning ticket. As for the ultra-expensive bikes, there's no reason they need them. If they are even considering such a purchase, they're not hurting financially. I'd suspect you were told about their saving up before Christmas in hopes you'd give them a significant cash gift towards the bikes, regardless of what they then spent it on. P.S. We have the same issue with fundraising in the US. Raffle tickets, cookies, whatever the kids are supposed to sell, it ends up with the parents pushing the stuff on relatives, rather than the kids selling to neighbors like it used to be. I used to make a cash donation instead. Next story. Am I the a-hole for kicking my sister and her kid out of my house because she refused to cover the damage her kid caused? My sister has been living with me for close to a year along with her 6-year-old son. She recently became homeless after what I'm gonna be nice and just call a series of bad choices. And since no one else would take her or her kid in, I decided to let them live with me until she can get back on her feet. Now, I'm a reasonable person, and I only have a few rules. Mainly, don't touch my things. Just respect my personal space and you're golden. That's not an unreasonable rule, right? Well, unfortunately, my sister just refuses to discipline her kid. Every day, it's just constant tantrums and fits. At any attempt I make to set him straight, gets my sister up in arms about how he can't help it. But I try my best to bear with it, because I know these two have literally nowhere else to go. Recently as well, I finally built my own gaming PC after months of work and thousands of dollars spent, and I was beyond thrilled it came out so well. Of course, I immediately told my nephew not to touch it and that he is under no circumstances allowed near it. He just about broke everything else, so I don't think I'm being harsh here in saying I don't want him near it. I tell my sister as well to keep him away from it, but she just says I shouldn't bully him. Cut to a few days ago and he's throwing yet another tantrum because he wants to play Minecraft on my PC. I of course tell him no, but my sister is getting on my case about how it's not fair I get to be the only one to play it. I don't have time to deal with this. I need to run errands, but I'm hoping in vain that my sister can control him for once. The actual area with my PC set up is an open room with no door. Think an office space but with figurines and such, so it's not like I can lock it off like I could do my room. Not even asking them to come with me worked, since my sister just refused and my nephew screaming and crying certainly isn't a one to deal with when shopping. Come time I return, I immediately check to see if the PC is safe, and what I find is broken glass everywhere. My monitor is on the floor and the PC tower practically in pieces. I'm beyond fuming now and confronts my sister about what happened. She doesn't even try to hide it. She just says she let him on but couldn't figure out how to launch Minecraft. And when nephew got mad he couldn't play, he had a meltdown. I of course demand she cover the costs to replace/repair. But she says it's my fault for not letting him play, and that she doesn't owe me anything. By this point, I had enough and packed all of their things, and told both of them to get out or else I'm calling the police. She reluctantly left before snipping, "I hope you're happy," under her breath. Over the next few days, I'm bombarded with texts and voicemails from her, calling me a bad brother and that it's my fault they're homeless. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. No, it is her fault she's homeless again. Harsh as I may sound, you set rules and boundaries in your home. Not only did she not try to abide by your requests, she override them. Your rules didn't matter to her. Your belongings didn't matter to her. Very sad. The kid shouldn't have done what he did, but it seems like he has some kind of disability or disorder, because it's not normal for a 6-year-old to completely destroy a PC. Or maybe poor parenting. My 3-year-old niece knows better than to throw a fit like that. If she's mad at you, she gets very, very quiet. I'd love to know what evil she's planning. OMG. Nope. Not the a-hole. Just FYI, cause it sounds like you don't have any other kids in your life. Your nephew didn't have a meltdown. A meltdown is a kid having big feelings they don't know what to do with, and it comes out big. Your nephew is destructive and undisciplined, not sure how he can get through school if this is how he acts. If this isn't fixed ASAP, he's probably going to develop something like defiant oppositional disorder. You can't let kids get away with destroying things, even if it's just a toy, when they don't get their way. That sounds like what happened though. Children need to have emotional regulation modeled and taught to them. They can also learn to seek reactions from adults if they're not getting the attention they want in other ways. Not the a-hole. I'm starting to understand what some of your sister's bad decisions might have been. The rules you set up were completely reasonable, especially since you were letting her stay there as a favor. One of the most basic things she could do is keep her kid under control. She brought this entirely on herself. And, despite what she said, none of this is your fault. And she's going to continue to be homeless and whatnot until she takes responsibility for her own choices. Last story. Am I the a-hole for screwing over my sister-in-law? I, 26 female, have been married for 7 years. My husband and I were young when we got together, and as a result, I became like another kid to his parents. But that's a story for just now. Anyways, I never thought of his sister, 27 female, as anything less than my own. So when she had her kid, 2 male, I was excited. I've got my own kids, but I was happy to have a nephew. So my sister-in-law lives next door with her parents. The issue is that I've become the baby drop-off center. I need to run to the store turns into me texting her 4+ hours later trying to figure out where she is. It's always someone else's fault on why she's late. I'm in college online though and can't exactly do my work when her kid is on a sleeping schedule of 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. My kids attend school and need their sleep though they have a decent bedtime. I'll also add that I have a hard time telling people no and currently in therapy for that among other issues. Because of those reasons, when she came to me saying she had a job offer, she asked which of 2 schedules worked for me. Didn't even ask if I would be the babysitter. I told her neither did, so we agreed to a schedule where I'd watch him half the schedule and her parents would watch him the other. Usually her parents back out, but I told her that wasn't going to be able to happen. Well, her first interview/training is today. She told me days ago that her dad was watching her kid since he'd probably still be asleep. Okay, awesome. Then at 2 a.m. the day off, she messaged me and said, "You're still able to watch him tomorrow, right?" I hope so because I have no one else. I was angry and told her so. I told her I'm being taken advantage of, and letting me know last minute she wasn't having her dad watch him isn't okay. Dad isn't sick, just didn't want to. I told her how it isn't right that everyone else can say that they don't want to and it's okay because she knows I have a hard time saying no. It ended with her apologizing and begging me to keep him, but I still said no. She told me she will lose the job if she can't find a babysitter. And I told her he isn't my kid, so it's not my issue. My mother-in-law then messaged me telling me she's going to straighten me out and that if my nephew is such a bother, then I just won't keep him anymore. She also told me I'm an awful person for screwing over my sister, and she expected more from me. My husband agrees with me but won't say anything to his mom and sister. Am I the a-hole? Should I watch him anyways? Not the a-hole. Both you and your husband need to stand your ground. You aren't responsible for sister-in-law's kid. If your mother-in-law is so upset, why doesn't she look after her grandchild? Both you and your husband need to start setting some boundaries with sister-in-law. Otherwise, they will continue to take advantage of you not being able to say no. Your kids and your family come first. Added to say that your husband is the a-hole for not backing you up here. He may agree with you, but him keeping quiet is just as bad. He needs to grow a backbone and speak to his sister and parents. Agreed. If Opie's husband doesn't talk to her parents, they will continue to take advantage of Opie's inability to speak. This will not end Opie's problem. Massive not the a-hole. She's taking advantage of you, pure and simple. And your mother-in-law's behavior is also appalling. Why doesn't she watch him? Please keep standing up for yourself. Mother-in-law's one of those I shouldn't have to, but you should people. You are not going to watch him anymore? Okay, mother-in-law, you can do it then and not back out. Straighten me out? Now, lady, I am straight a line about my personal space and not watching your grandkids. Awful person? Cool. Don't call or message me anymore if I am awful. Not the a-hole. We've been at each other's throats for some serious overstepping she did a few months ago. Finally made peace, though not made up, as I'll never forgive her for what she did. And now she's gonna straighten me out because she's sick of me thinking I'm better than everyone. Lol. This isn't the first time she's said that. It lasted a day before I had my nephew again. Stand your ground and polish your spine. Do not take your nephew again. As for your mother-in-law, her language toward you more than justifies cutting her off for a while and not allowing her to be around your child. She freaking threatened you.